Alex Jones, the far-right talk show host, has been ordered to pay nearly $1 billion to 8 families of Sandy Hook shooting victims and one of the first responders on the scene. The huge verdict comes after he spread lies on his show saying the shooting was staged and the families were crisis actors. Now, the families sat in court when the verdict was read. Some cried. Many of them testified about all the harassment against them as a result of Alex Jones's lies. Now, he was not in the courtroom. Instead, he was comfortably live streaming on his show, reacting to the verdict. You can see him cheer and mock it. He also vowed not to stop questioning school shootings. Take a look.
They want to scare everybody away from freedom and scare us away from questioning Uvalde and what really happened there, or Parkland or any other event. And guess what? We're not scared, and we're not going away, and we're not going to stop. And literally, for hundreds of thousands of dollars, I can keep them in court for years. I can appeal this stuff. We can stand up against this travesty, against the billions of dollars they want. It's a joke.
So for more on this, attorney and legal analyst Whitney Traylor is back with us again. My blood is boiling. I'm sure all of ours is.
Okay, so what do we know about how much money Alex Jones actually has? And do we know that if he doesn't have billions, how much the family will actually receive?
Right. So that's going to be a question. And actually, he got a default judgment against him in both of the trials because he wouldn't turn over his documents showing what he knew and related to the finance. So our system is designed that once you get a judgment like they did here, then there's ways to collect on it. You can do a Rule 69 deposition. You can garnish wages. So their lawyers will be aggressively pursuing it, and this will be, he's talking about tying it up for years in an appeal, and he's right. He may have to post a bond, but during the appeal, things may be stayed. But I think, based on what I've seen, he's going to lose the appeal. Maybe they'll reduce the verdict just a little bit, and then they'll be able to start collecting from him. And there's a lot of ways to impose pain and reveal this information and collect. So it will be years of them going after him.
So I don't know his financial status, but I doubt he has $1 billion, right? So if he claims bankruptcy because he can't pay this.
That was my question, yeah.
Can he hide behind this bankruptcy? And what can these families do to try to get what they're actually owed and how long will that take?
Well, it could take years. Yeah. And if he's successful in bankruptcy, then they would be creditors and they would get then a percentage of what he has. But if it goes to bankruptcy, there's still a trustee, and the trustee's job is to find all the assets that they can so that it can go to the creditors. I don't think this will be in bankruptcy. I think they'll be able to get it out for a bunch of technical reasons. So now the question is going to be, what money does he have? He claimed during the trial he only had about $2 million, but there was an economist who testified that said it's about $270 million. But please believe, folks, as much as he's getting donations, he's asking for money.
Yep.
He's still getting money. Oh, they are going to be going through that with a fine-tooth comb. He's laughing now. He doesn't realize he's got 10 years of bad road ahead of him on this thing.
Yeah, let's make it the rest of his life. I think about these families, and I have to assume it's not about the money, but just to get this animal to stop this.
Right.
He said that he's going to keep going. Is there any way that we can make sure that this doesn't happen in the future, that this just doesn't become a business model like, oh, here's how I make my money. I find mass shootings and I podcast about it. How do you make sure that this doesn't, how do we as a society, if we want to continue to be a society, stop this?
Right. That's a great point, and that's one of the things that he didn't turn over was documentation showing how much he knew and how much they thought they were going to make by promoting the notion of the hoax. And so this is probably what the lawyer said in closing, is that we can't go back in time. All we can do in our jury system is what it is. We can only award money. And so that's probably, what the lawyers argued was, this should be money, and we should try and collect based on, there will be a lot of discovery, litigation around what assets he has. So they will find what they have, and each of them were awarded a different amount for different reasons. The emotional distress they went through and those kind of things.
They said it took 15 minutes to read off all the different counts.
It's horrific. Quickly, 10 seconds. Will this be a precedent for other people spreading lies?
That's what I was actually trying to say, and I lost my train of thought. Yes, this will create precedent, because now if these folks are saying this is a business model, we're going to polarize it, we're going to make it political, which is absurd to say that the body's not there, that they didn't actually die. That's absurd. So if they get this big judgment and it's upheld, yes, that will definitely deter folks.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And
Whitney,
the people platforming them as well.
I know. Whitney, thank you so much. We appreciate you for breaking it all down for us.
Good to be here.
For more information on Whitney Traylor, go to his website at whitneytraylor.com or on his Instagram at YWTraylor.